What would you do if you woke up one morning to find your entire life's savings gone, stolen by the people you trusted most? For me, Anna Carter, that wasn't just a question, it was the nightmare that shattered my world. I was 29, a graphic designer grinding through late nights at a small marketing firm in Chicago. My life wasn't glamorous, but it was mine, built on years of scraping by, saving every penny for a dream I held close, opening my own studio. That dream was my anchor, my reason to keep going through the monotony of spreadsheets and client revisions. But in one cruel moment, it was ripped away. It started with a notification on my phone at 6:47 a.m. My bank account, which should have held $42,000 every cent of my savings, was at zero. Not a penny left. My heart pounded as I called the bank, my voice shaking. "There's been a mistake," I pleaded. But the representative's words hit like a sledgehammer. The money had been transferred out, authorized by me. Or so it seemed. Someone had accessed my account, forged my credentials, and drained it overnight. The bank couldn't help without proof of fraud, and the police were no better too understaffed to chase what they called a digital ghost. I sat on my apartment floor, surrounded by unpaid bills, my mind racing. Who could have done this? I lived alone, kept my passwords locked tight, and trusted no one with my finances. But the answer came faster than I expected. That afternoon, I got a call from my boss, Greg, a slick-talking man in his 50s who always seemed too friendly. "Anna, we need you at the office. Urgent client meeting." His tone was off, too casual for the chaos of my morning. I went, not because I wanted to, but because I needed answers. The office was quiet when I arrived, the usual hum of keyboards replaced by an eerie stillness. Greg sat at his desk, flanked by two colleagues I barely knew, Sarah, the HR manager with a perpetually tight smile, and Tom, a quiet IT guy who never met anyone's eyes. They handed me a termination letter. "Budget cuts," Greg said, avoiding my gaze. "Nothing personal." But it was personal. I could feel it in the way Sarah's smile twitched, the way Tom's hands fidgeted. They knew something. And then I saw it, a new Rolex on Greg's wrist, glinting under the fluorescent lights. My stomach churned. Was this where my money went? I didn't confront them. Not yet. Instead, I went home and tore through my digital life, scouring bank statements, login histories, anything that could point to the thief. That's when I found it, a login to my account from an IP address tied to our office network. Someone at the firm had hacked me. But why? I was nobody, just a designer with a modest salary and a dream. What did they gain from ruining me? Desperate, I turned to an old friend, Mia, a private investigator who owed me a favor. She dug into the firm's network, tracing the IP address to Tom's workstation. "He's not just an IT guy," Mia said, her voice low over coffee at a diner. "He's got a side gig hacking for hire. And Greg's been funneling money through shell accounts for years. They're in deep, Anna. But there's something else." She slid a folder across the table. "I found this in their deleted files. It's about you." The folder held a single document, a background check on me, dated 5 years ago, when I joined the firm. But it wasn't just my resume or references. It listed a name I didn't recognize, Margaret Ellison, marked as my mother. My mother, who I'd been told died when I was a baby. My father, a distant man who raised me alone, never spoke of her. I'd grown up believing I had no family left, no roots to trace. But this document suggested otherwise. It also mentioned a trust fund in my name, one I'd never heard of, worth millions. My head spun. Was this why they targeted me? Did they know something I didn't? Mia suggested a DNA test to confirm the connection. If Margaret Ellison is your mother, there might be more to this, she said. I agreed, sending a sample to a lab she trusted. While we waited for results, I confronted Tom. I cornered him in the office parking lot, my voice steady despite the rage burning inside. I know you hacked my account, I said. His face paled, but he didn't deny it. Instead, he stammered, it wasn't just me. Greg, he made me. Said it was your trust fund, not your salary. That you didn't deserve it. Trust fund? My salary was all I had, or so I thought. Tom's words didn't add up, but before I could press him, he bolted, tires screeching as he sped away. That night, Mia called with a lead. The trust fund's real, she said. Set up by Margaret Ellison before she disappeared. But there's a catch, it's locked until you turn 30, unless someone proves you're not her daughter. My 30th birthday was 3 weeks away. Suddenly, it clicked. They weren't just stealing my savings, they were trying to block me from something bigger. Then came the twist I never saw coming. Mia uncovered an email chain between Greg and a woman named Clara, a lawyer who handled the trust. Clara wasn't just a lawyer, she was Margaret's sister, my aunt, and she'd been working with Greg to keep the trust from me. Why? Because Clara believed I wasn't Margaret's daughter. She claimed my father had lied, that I was adopted, a secret kept to secure the trust for himself. The DNA test was their last hope to prove it before the funds released. When the test results arrived, I tore open the envelope with trembling hands. The truth stared back in black and white, I was Margaret Ellison's daughter. Not adopted. Not a fraud. The trust was mine. But more than that, the results listed a living relative, Clara. My aunt, who'd spent years trying to erase me, was family. The betrayal stung deeper than the theft. I could have stopped there, taken the trust, and walked away. But I wanted justice. With Mia's help, I gathered evidence, Tom's hacking logs, Greg's shell accounts, Clara's emails. I turned it over to the police, who arrested them within days. The firm collapsed, my savings were partially recovered, and the trust fund $3.2 million was released to me on my 30th birthday. But the money didn't heal the wound. I'd spent my life believing I was alone, only to learn I had a mother who'd loved me, a family who'd betrayed me, and a truth buried under lies. I tracked down Clara, not for revenge, but for answers. She lived in a modest house outside the city, her face lined with regret when she saw me. I thought you weren't hers, she whispered, tears in her eyes. Margaret vanished after a fight with your father. I blamed him, blamed you. I was wrong. She told me about my mother, a painter, a dreamer, like me who'd left the trust to protect her child. Clara had spent years searching for her, only to find nothing but grief. I didn't forgive Clara, not fully. But I listened. Her story gave me something the money never could, a piece of my mother, a connection to the woman I'd never known. I used the trust to open my studio, naming it Ellison Designs. Every brushstroke, every design, carries her legacy. They tried to steal my future, but they gave me something greater, a truth that set me free.